He said he was looking for the URL.
Just gone live. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the hell you are in the world, and welcome to Scitrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Our plan for what we were going to talk about on this live has kind of gone out of the window. Oh, that changed. Can I go on the edge? I don't like being in the middle. There we go. Okay. So guys, if you're thinking this is going to be quite big news, so if you like Stargate, share this video now. Tell everybody immediately that we're gone live and we've got some breaking, quite exciting news. So let's just very quickly do the intro and then we'll go from there. I feel like I should scrap names out just so I don't accidentally write names down, because I've been scribbling things down. So, hi Sarah, hi Laura, hey Nick, Shirley's in the house, and Geordie. Hello everybody. So, where to start with this? So I've literally just told you guys what's gone on, but we should actually do the thing you create. Oh, first of all, how are you guys?
Doing well.
I'm all right. Just get on with it.
All right, calm down. Stormy's here. Stormy. Right, so Stormy doesn't know any of this because you've just arrived.
Oh no shit.
I will tell you. I'll tell you a bit more detail than I'm not allowed to say live after the stream, Stormy. But so, did I leave that comment on? Sorry, hide that. Smoking Fruit, Chris, you're in. Sci-Fi Chris, Steph, Brain Pain. This is quite big news. I wish I could tell you more, but basically, I had an email on Friday that actually had, and I could say this, that it was the correct MGM email. Should we put it that way? So it was an email from MGM. This was somebody that works for an executive for MGM, and they were actually authorized for once to actually talk to us and tell us a little bit of information. They said they are reaching out to a couple of YouTube channels and other influencers and things, because they want to start putting a bit of clarity out there about what's coming. They don't want so many rumors knocking around. They want to sort of like tell people what is actually happening. So I immediately checked this person out. I went through a couple of my sources and I got very excited to find out it wasn't somebody trying to wind me up. It was actually this person, and they do actually work for this person. So happy days. So they agreed to chat with me today, and I've spoken to them today. And they've been able to tell me a few bits and bobs about what's actually going on with Stargate and a couple of other projects as well. She told me a couple of things about RoboCop as well, which I half listened to because I was trying to get her to talk about Stargate. I was just like, what are you talking about RoboCop for?
Did they tell you anything about the thing we're all wanting to know?
Legally Blonde 3 is going to be a prequel. No, it isn't. I have no idea.
Oh,
Legally Blonde 3, though, is obviously happening. I mean, come on. Right, so do you want to just go through the headlines and then we'll break it down and talk about it? I'll go through the headlines. Right, so Jordan Peele was the director that we've been talking about for the last few weeks that apparently was approached about doing Stargate. They met him several times, apparently, but they have now decided they will not be moving ahead with Jordan Peele, which we found out about a week and a half ago, actually, but we haven't got around to telling anyone. So he will not be. But this person said that even though that is true, that they're not moving ahead with Jordan Peele, they do have a director. Now, what she kept saying was they know who the director will be. I pushed them to say if they signed on, is that going to be official? And she said, we know who it's going to be. I said she then, but it could be a he. It could be a he. I don't know. Or a they. So I wonder if that's a similar thing that we heard when we were talking about Jordan Peele, that he refused to sign on while the strikes were going on. So I'm wondering if it's a similar thing going on there. So they know who it is. There is a production team in place at MGM. So there are apparently 3 producers that are now officially sort of signed on as the production team for Stargate. Wouldn't tell me who they are. They do have a script. So the movie has a script. And that is 100% definite. I asked if it was Mark Fergus. And she said, she just smiled and said she can't talk about that. But she smiled. So we can maybe. The one interesting thing, actually, is there's been no definite decision on a cinematic release. She did say, we are right. There is, that is an idea. And that has been pushed by, she just said, higher Amazon executives want a cinematic movie. But she didn't say any more than that. But what she was saying was there's been no definite decision, but that decision will be made in the next couple of weeks. So very shortly, there's going to be definite, but it will be a movie. We are getting a movie. Whether it's straight to streaming or straight to cinema has not been 100% decided, which will be followed very quickly by a TV series. And she did confirm that. And then we sort of chatted a bit about Amazon's, how excited or interested Amazon are with Stargate. And she sort of said that, or he, could be a he, that James Bond was always the main motivation for buying MGM. That was always that's the golden goose sort of thing. But whenever they talk about projects they're developing and their strategy to what they're going to do with MGM over the next decade, Stargate is in the middle of it. Every conversation starts with James Bond, another couple of other big franchises, but they always talk about Stargate.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I can't tell you who the executive producer is that's involved in this, but they are senior. This is the only time, I should say, this is the only time I've ever spoken. I didn't actually spoke directly to them, obviously, but this is the only time I've ever spoken to it. Normally, my sources are like the cleaner and things like that. And, I got good sources in like the legal side of things, but they're literally the people like admin, so they're the sort of sources I speak to. This is the first time an official source has ever come forward. So it's amazing.
Like a production developer?
Or like a representative from an executive.
They work for the executive. She has got a title, but I forget what it was, but it's basically like a PA. That was how I took it. But they've got some long title. I've got it on the email. I'll have to have a look. I can't tell you anyway. But anyway, so, but the thing is that
just tell everyone her name as well.
Yeah, may as well. Or he.
Or his name.
The main
their name
is that we know who this executive. I obviously know who this executive is, and looking at what they do, it seems that the rumors about this maybe being filmed in Europe suggestive, and the TV series is like definite, because this woman wouldn't have anything to do with it if there wasn't TV related. And I'm not saying any more than that. And I think that might be saying too much, to be honest. So I'm hoping I get a smack on the wrists. The one thing she did say is, though, that when the official announcement comes,
it's cousin it. Cousin it is funding all of it.
It's their pet dog. That's who's been emailing me. It's their pet dog. Yeah, told me how much they love. I love my boss. I love my boss so much. My boss is ace. I love my boss. Yeah, this person wouldn't be contacting us if it wasn't a TV series as well, because that would be their area. So, but yeah, so the one thing they said to us is that they will be willing to give us, if she sort of said, if the relationship works, or words to that effect, basically if they can trust us, I think, where was that they were going with it. So I think this is like a very tentative initial introduction, and then see what we actually do with it. And I've been very careful to sort of say to her, am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say this? And she's agreed, sort of thing. Or he, could be a he. So basically, if the relationship things, then they see they believe they can trust us.
We need to make this channel a gender neutral channel. Everyone is they, them, there.
Or he or she, depends on what word pops in my brain.
We're so woke. Oh my God.
You are.
Here
I'm
comes
the
the woke tribe again.
I'm like,
At least you get the hate mail, not me.
right. So those are the headlines. So do you want to, if we break it down, first of all, what do you think about, we've discussed that Jordan Peele was lined up for this and that they're actually, MGM were quite keen. It seems.
I'm shocked that you even said his name in general. That my face. You play this back, you'll see me going. He just said the name, like,
Yeah,
but
I haven't told them aloud. So
yeah, I was like, what?
I was told by the original source a couple of days ago that I was allowed to.
Cool.
So but now he's not involved.
I was surprised when you said his name because you said it as if you've been telling everyone, and you haven't. You told us.
No.
You didn't tell everyone else.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I mentioned that there was a bit of controversy maybe around this director, and I wonder if it's maybe probably a good thing, to be honest. Even though I think I really respect him as a director and I think he would have done an amazing job, I think the wokeists would have put wind in their sails, sort of thing.
I don't even know about that. As much as I love Jordan Peele, he is the three things that he has directed so far, even though the last thing was very Spielbergian, are very unique to him. And that's what worried me the most whenever you started saying, like, oh, well, the guy that might be directing is talking about a full reboot or talking about this, or at least leaning towards that. And just that alone was enough to just make me not as excited for Jordan Peele as the last couple months that you've kind of mentioned it to us. Because you remember my face when you said Jordan Peele the first time. I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
Well, I got, since you're saying that this is more, could be a European production, and the only really controversial director I can think of that has to work in Europe would be Roman Polanski.
I was about to say, where's this going?
I mean, it can't be Roman Polanski. It just can't.
No.
That would
He's not sci-fi.
That would be a very different movie.
Probably a good one, but not.
When you said Europe and then controversial director and the woke.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, God. Just saying. I'm just bringing it up as, we're pretty sure it is not.
No, it's not Roman Polanski.
See,
what do you think?
we tamped down that rumor tree at least. We've done something useful for this day.
What do you think, Matt? Is that maybe a probably in the bigger picture, probably a good thing?
I am kind of happy that he's not, for the same reason Harry said about the fact that he kind of would lead towards a hard reboot. I've always been against that anyway. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is exciting. The whole thing is exciting that there's movement. The fact it's in Europe is good because they can get around the whole strike thing. A lot of it, anyway.
We're going to talk about the strikes in a minute. I dropped a bomb that one of the people I spoke to said the studios have said November 1st. This has got to be over. We want to get work. He was actually talking about. Because I spoke to him a bit about it since, and he was saying a lot of the networks. They always do big like Christmas specials and stuff, and they normally film in the summer, and they haven't filmed. They haven't got them, and they're like, we really, really want to do some of these like Christmassy special type things, and so the studios, but then like the streaming services are thinking like all of our next summer productions, they should be filming now. Come on, sort of thing. So they've sort of said November 1st was they do not want this to go any further. And you're looking at deadline over the last 2 days. I think the WGA might be resolved today. It's really looking like, and I think whatever the WGA, the Writers Guild, agree, I think the actors will follow. I think that the deal they get will be pretty similar. So I think this could be over in the next week.
It'd be nice.
And then we'll start getting official announcements of things. And I wonder if that's why this woman is, or man, is approaching us. Why they are approaching us, because they know
this person, they, them, there.
It approached us because the ball is rolling.
I need to be your PA advisor, don't I? Your PR advisor.
Matt, you do. I nominate Matt to be your PA advisor.
I need what was it?
I mean, I'm already his like PR guy on like emails to some people. I'm not going to say who. To some people.
Yeah, the emails go through you because I say what I think. I say silly things.
And that's a problem.
I know.
Next week, you'll see Jamie with one of those little like FBI little dangles behind his ear, and it's just gonna be Matt just. Yeah, you could be right there.
Don't say what I know you're about to say.
Don't say she. Don't say she.
This could go from "Shut up, Matt" to "Jamie, hold up, real quick," very quickly.
Yeah, shut up, Jay. Jay, shut up.
But yeah, I think I don't think we've dodged a bullet because I think he did done a great job, but I think it's probably the best thing in the whole.
Yeah.
Really.
If he didn't, if he wasn't going down, if he was going to do a continuation, probably it'd be all right. But you could have the greatest director in the world. If you said to me that they were going to do a hard reboot, I'd be not invested.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Laura's just made the point because of Yom Kippur, which is a major Jewish holiday. That's why they had meetings yesterday, and they've had meetings today as well. So I mean, they don't normally work weekends, and the top executives, like Bob Iger and people, they're there either in person or virtually involved in these meetings. And if you read the deadline over the last few days, the articles they've been saying, it feels very close. It feels like they're like the last few dotting the I's and trotting the T's. And they said it's just really a little bit of it's just like it feels like it's just like AI still a little bit. So
I'm not doing a reaction to the Doctor Who trailer on my channel. I'm not.
But we'll talk about it anyway.
We'll talk about it here. I'm not doing it. I've seen so many people do these reactions to trailers, and they're all so boring. Yeah. I don't want to make boring content.
There's a 15-minute video reacting to a 90-second trailer I saw today. Like,
I watched this guy. I've been watching him for a while. He's a lovely guy. But he literally put the trailer on and he put it on 0.5 playback speed and went, we're going to watch this frame by frame, and he's there pausing it every 2 seconds. I'm like, it's a 2-minute video at 0.5 like frames and you're pausing it. It took 15 minutes to get through. I'm like, please, just. I turned it off. I couldn't watch it, and I'm like, that's why I'm not going to do that kind of content.
I like Doctor Who, but dear God,
yeah.
But when the Stargate trailer comes out, I'll be watching it at 0.5 and reacting to it frame by frame.
Yeah, but then what you'll do is you'll make notes and then you'll do a reaction. You won't do it live.
Some people like that live stuff, though.
I might do like a reaction live just for the comedy value of me going, like, when the Star Wars trailer come out, I'm just going for like 90 seconds, and then I might do that, but then I will then just talk about it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll figure something out. The other big headline then, no definitive answer on cinema release, but it is going to be a movie. House, did you want to, without saying names, did you want to add that little bit you mentioned?
Oh yeah, well I can say one name, just Chambers, the guy that I interviewed about a month and a half ago now on MCube. Check out that video if you haven't seen it yet, of course. He was talking.
You need to tell us who he is.
Say what?
You need to tell us who he is.
Oh yeah, he's a playwright, author. His wife is a big producer at Disney and has a bunch of stuff going on, et cetera, et cetera. You can look up all that good stuff. I don't know if I should say it, but you got the information, a piece to piece puzzled together. But he was talking to some friends of his. He's lived here for 25 years. His wife has had the most successful Disney show of the past few decades. So know some people. Talked to some people at MGM, and he was like, y'all are totally right. People are definitely getting Stargate together. So just an extra source of information that there is a Stargate movie and or TV show coming our way, and
well, both.
This man's the one keeping us posted.
That name is Chambers Stevens.
Chambers Stevens.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're getting more.
I think I have him on Facebook. I think I added him, but I'm not sure if he accepted.
You should.
I think I did, but I don't know if he accepted. I can't remember.
Oh, I'll tell him. He doesn't pay attention.
He came back on Scitrek. He did agree, but then I forgot to follow it up. So
yeah, I can do that any day, any time of the week. We were literally striking on the picket lines on Friday morning. It was 3 days in. I think they're either 4 or 5 days into the agreements and hopefully finishing everything up now. But the talk of the town is that it's almost over, and we're all very excited to actually get back to work and get moving again, which y'all know I'm ready for.
Yeah, 100%.
Past ready for.
So no definitive decision on cinema. How do we feel about that? But movie. We are getting movie.
I mean, for me, it's almost
I-
like at least it seems like it's moving forward. You know, I mean, that in itself is kind of a relief, I guess.
Yeah. And we're starting
I
to get
think
real stuff
there's
to
probably
talk
going to be
about.
more. There's probably more eyes if it was streaming anyway, just because of how few people now go to the cinema.
Yeah.
So, I know it's a controversial thing. People don't go to the cinema. People should go to the cinema because you should support whatever you want, but people don't because money. It's just easier to stream. There's so many reasons why people don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, going onto a streaming service is going to get the most eyes possible. Maybe they'll do both though. Maybe they'll do it on streaming and also have a cinema release.
Which is what kind of happened, like a limited cinema release, which is kind of what's popular in the last few years. I think there's still a prestige to a cinematic movie. I've done a video talking about this tomorrow while I was walking on the beach this morning, so I won't say too much about that. But I think there's a prestige to it, and like it shows that Amazon are really confident about this if they're willing to like push that out. That they're trying to become a cinema production company. They want to be feature films, and the fact that if that's where they'll go, but no definite decision. Thank you, BK Dan, and thank you for the contributions, sir. Yeah, if you've got questions, guys, throw them in. But if you do it as a with money,
Super
I'll
chat.
definitely answer them. So.
Super chats get answered quickly.
I feel like if Amazon are going to do a cinema release and it be big, it will be the Bond when they do it. That's going to have much more. That's going to have much more of an impact. But then that'll be their breakthrough.
Lots of people, you're right. I think a lot of people would get over their whatever their version is to theaters these days just to see it on the big screen and for like the audience kind of communal kind of response. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
I think we'll be less likely to get like an SG-1 revival with many of the original cast back if they do a cinematic movie. Yeah. I think if they do a streaming movie, we could basically get an SG-1 revival. Full on Daniel Jackson, Sam, Richard, O'Neill even, and we, Christopher Judge, we could get that sort of film. I think if it's at the cinema, we won't. I think it'll be more.
And whoever does it, if they kill RDA, I'm going to scream.
Well, when it happens, Matt, I'm sorry.
I'm asking Brad about that. I'm going to say about his. Then all of you people that keep telling me that's a stupid idea, if Brad agrees with me, you'll all have to shut up, and if he doesn't, I'll have to shut up. So I'm asking him. So what? Sorry, you guys. So yeah, cinema. Still a risk, but at least they're open to it. And
honestly, after sitting with it and thinking about it the way we have the last couple months, really, they need to do a cinema release over a TV series to begin with. A TV series feels safe, and even though it's what we want and we want it, it feels boring. It doesn't feel like they actually care. It feels like they would be doing a cash grab just for nostalgia and all these different little tick marks instead of actually caring and applying that risk to something that, yes, has a bunch of nostalgic factors, but has a future on our screens and not just we're going to run out of nostalgia quick if that's all we're going for. We have 17 seasons and a couple TV movies and another film to jump off of. We can get some seasons of fun, seasons of nostalgia, but we need a future for this franchise. And I think a movie is the way to set that up. I think a TV show, no matter what, you're going to be bogged down at least for half a season trying to correlate it with things that have happened in the past. You might as well do a little bit of that, legwork in a movie and introduce new people as well. I honestly, a movie, if it was just the occasional SG person that we're familiar with, just in the background or as a commander somewhere doing something, that would be great because it shows us there's more to this world still. And it's not so much like, okay, we got SG-1 back, we got SGA back, and we're going to get bored so fast. Even as much as we don't necessarily want to admit it, we would love to see it, but it would just be it's not going anywhere if they don't allow it to go anywhere. And I think they need to allow it to have that room and breadth. Yeah, does that make sense?
I do agree with everything you just said. Just to go on top of that, having cameos from like the previous cast members would give us reassurance that it's in the same universe.
Yeah.
So it's not like a reboot. It's not soft reboot or anything. It's the same universe, exactly the same. It's just continuing, maybe with different characters, but that's the reassurance. That's the link to say it's the same SG1, same SG8, SG that you knew and love. It's just different characters now because it's been 15 years.
Yeah, that has to be part of it. If they're just mentioned, if we actually see them or anything, I think that has to be a part of it. But I think the good thing about doing a movie as well is, even if it's not super successful, if Amazon's already invested in Stargate, which they seemingly are, they know the type of audience they have with it. There is already a baked-in TV audience. If the movie fails, you can still make a TV show and still have a money-making audience there. And I think that's the best thing, is because they could bring in way more people than we have already, plus get everybody back. You have something for new people. You have something for old people. You have something to get both of them excited about new things still. And we just have more Stargate. Like, that just sounds best to me, honestly. I don't know.
And anybody that says the cinema release would fail, I have to say, 10th highest grossing MGM movie of all time, the original Stargate.
The highest grossing movie of all time when it was released as well.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It was King Mo D at the box office when it came out.
Yeah, it absolutely smashed it because it only cost them like 15 million quid to get their hands on as well. Third highest YouTube searches of sci-fi shows: Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate. Those other two shows are still on, and they get searches. Stargate hasn't been on screens for 12 years, and it's the third highest. That's mental.
Damn.
Excuse me. Facebook groups, there's hundreds.
I said it before. The fact that channels like ours does well for a show that's not been off the air for so long just proves that there's an appetite for it. We're on like nearly.
I gotta say, there's
views
one other
now, is it?
franchise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just gonna. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say there's only one other franchise that comes to mind that had that kind of staying power, and that was Star Trek. I mean, Stargate. I mean, it is
as well.
In terms of all the production, the number of spinoffs, the number of episodes, and the reaction to the fandom, decades afterwards, shows that Stargate it's in King Mo D territory.
Stephanie's just made the point there.
I think Doctor Who is probably in a similar vein, but very, very. At the time, I think probably more in the UK than anywhere else in the world.
Right.
We will be very, very careful with spoilers once this is officially announced and things start happening. Like we'll announce actors and things when it's in the public domain. But if we hear anything that,
by the way, we haven't got 3 million views. We've got 4.2 million.
Damn it. But we will be very careful. And to be honest, Steph, I've know things. Things like I found it little bits about Brad's script, or I was offered to be told little bits about Brad's script, and I didn't want to be told because I don't want it ruined. I don't want to ruin the movie for me. So if I'm offered information about story and stuff like that, to be honest, even though I know it would be brilliant for the channel, I'll say no because I don't want to know. And I know that sounds really stupid, but I don't want to know. It's like opening my Christmas presents, like 2 weeks before, like peering in under the wrapping paper. So there are certain things that 100% we will share if we find out, like we do. But there's things that I don't want to know, so I won't share with you.
Makes sense.
It's just
when it is out, whether it's at the cinema or not. If it's at the cinema, Jay, me and you. If we haven't out by then, which I hope we bloody have.
But we really need to at some point.
We need to go together.
Yeah, mate. Dudley is just down the road. We really, yes, no. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we do need to arrange that, mate. You literally are just down the road. It's ridiculous that we still haven't like met face to face.
I'll be driving soon, so I'll just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm how lazy am I? So
you can drive, yeah.
Yeah, I could come down at any point. Next couple of weekends, let's do it. So, movie, big thing though. Definitely getting a TV series. It's basically already been green lit as far as we're concerned. So, Yay! Is there
Big
anything
yay.
else to say?
Big yay. Big yay.
Big yay. Double yays. All yays. Lots of yays.
I mean, again, anybody that's saying anything that the cinema's a bad idea, in a way, I don't care because the series is already lined up.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. Like, it is the sleeping giant of sci-fi. Even if it fails, it will probably fails with quotation marks everywhere around it. It'll probably still break even. You know, the only thing that would make it not break even is if it's just marketed like a mother, you know, and they just have it where it's just they spent 3 times the actual budget on marketing. Like, that's the only way I could see it not breaking even.
They don't need a marketing budget. All they need to do is tell us when it's out.
That's
and
it.
We'll do the rest.
Legitimately.
Because we will run our mouth about it. Oh my
oh, yeah, no, we won't shut up.
Send me a couple t-shirts. I'll go walk down Hollywood Boulevard.
Nothing's been announced, and we haven't shut up about it for 2 years.
Precisely. It's the sleeping giant.
I sometimes think, I can't do another Stargate video. I can't. I've got to
Yeah,
talk about
you
something else.
can.
But then I just think, nah, screw it. That's what I want to talk about. So sod it. That's what I want to talk about. The motivation then for getting Stargate again, is that a big that's got to be again another big thumbs up in it that is again for an official source from MGM is telling us it was Stargate was always one of the big, which is what we heard way ago. I mean, the beautiful thing about what this source is was she's basically confirmed everything we've been talking about, and she's not really told us we're wrong about anything, which is just great. It just confirms that the people we're talking to know what they're on about, which is always a concern sometimes when you get told certain things like, I think you're mental or just wrong, but we just try not to share that stuff too much. But again, they've got confidence in this. That's what I just can't help but feel excited about.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah.
Everyone says sleeping giants can't sleep. No, they wake up at some point because a sleeping giant that keeps on sleeping is dead. It's a dead giant.
Sleeping giants at one time's got to get up and go wee. I'm just saying.
You
It's
know?
not a comatose giant. It's a sleeping giant. It's having a nap. It's had a 12-year nap, 14-year nap. But it's going to wake up.
Even people in comas wake up.
Yeah.
Not always. But
Yeah.
most of the
Sometimes they
time.
just die. But I think we're well past. Personally, I think we were well past the will it, won't it happen like 9 months ago, 10 months ago. Definitely in March, 100% March. I was just like, it's happening. That's it now. Anybody that still thinks this isn't happening, I just think, I'm sorry, you're just wrong.
I mean, I think it's a for sure deal the second Amazon bought MGM. It's pretty damn sure right after that.
You see comments all the time on Facebook, on YouTube, on Reddit, especially when someone will post, not necessarily our videos, but something along the lines of Stargate's coming back, and then they're always just like, oh, I believe it when I see it, or there's nothing official been announced. And I think that's probably just a lot of fans throughout the last 15 years have been promised things.
Yeah.
And then it's been ripped from underneath them.
Yeah.
So hopefully this time, well, it will happen, but
it is happening. Yeah.
It's gonna reinvigorate their trust in the system.
And there are several people that have put comments on, and I've said, come back to me when it's announced, and they better, because I'm going to go find them. They've straight up called me a liar. And I'm like, I know who you are. I have a list. No, I don't. I really don't care that much. But I just go back through my comments. Go,
I know where you live.
Yeah, I know where you live. I know you're in a thigh leg measurement.
I knew you were going to say that.
In a leg measurement. Yes, we're not allowed to say that. Americans are a bit upset at us. So I think we got some, because we've got something coming up in mid-October that I think is going to be really exciting, that we can't talk too much about, but we hope is going to happen. I'm not going to say definitely, but I'm thinking we could even get an announcement by that. I think we could get an announcement within a couple of weeks of the strikes ending. I really do.
Would be great.
Okay.
I think Kerry's excited.
I think Kerry's excited. She's a very happy lady and a member for 8 months. Thank you very much for being a member. We love you, Kerry. And she didn't blow away last week. She was in the middle of a hurricane and we were worried for her safety, but she's
very good.
Didn't blow away. Excellent. But yeah, so just to recap then very quickly, an official source of MGM has come forward and basically clarified a few bits. Definitely going to be a movie. It's not 100% going to be cinema, though. They haven't actually decided. It'll be in the next couple of weeks. They have got a script. They have got a director, or at least they know who the director is going to be. There is a production team at MGM. And Stargate has always been a major motivator for why Amazon bought MGM in the first place. So we actually have some interesting news. Dave B's just asked, have we got any news on the cast? They're not at that stage yet. They're not there yet. So we know certain actors have been very tentatively approached. We believe Amanda Tappin has been tentatively approached, and we believe Michael Shanks has. And we believe, actually, I know for a fact that the person whose name has now gone out of my fucking head that played Rush was approached. Robert Carlyle, thank you, was approached about something. But it seemed to be that's when they were umming and ahhing about what storyline they were going to do. In the development stage. So they sort of so they had a few ideas and they seemed to be approaching their actor going, if we did this, be interested, sort of thing. So no more than that has been done, because obviously there's no point doing a massive script with Robert Carlyle as rushing it for whatever reason, even if it's only a small part, if he has no intention of doing it. So you'd sort of tentatively sort of go, would they be interested? So we'll have to see. But we believe that has. But the casting won't happen until basically after the strikes anyway, because all the actors are on strike, so they couldn't approach them anyway. Or at least they couldn't sign up. I don't know how it would work about sort of like talking to agents and asking whether
there's probably been some sort of like off the record conversations, but nothing official.
Yeah, they can't legally do anything official just yet. Almost.
Yeah, but as there's a script, you'd think that at very least the one or two, if there are returning actors, have been at least tentatively approached. And let's be honest, very few of them are going to be busy enough to say no. Michael Shanks is not saying no to this. Amanda Tappin probably wouldn't, even though she's busy. But no, she wouldn't. See, every Comic-Con she's done for the last 10 years, she says it. She's always asked, and she always says, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Who would be too busy to come back? Just thinking about it for sake.
See what's on their IMDb listing, and
Jason Momoa.
got a full
That's true. I would think off the top of my head, I would think Michael Judge, Christopher Judge would be a little harder just because all of his video game stuff, and he still acts a bunch.
Well, there's also the rumor going on that he might end up being the God of War.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I don't. As much as it'd be great, I don't see that happening.
Last time I heard, they were definitely tempted to approach, but then the strikes happened. But, they were definitely willing to at least have the conversation with him. So, and I think it would be a popular choice, but it would be a dangerous one.
Yeah, he's not young enough to carry something like that, I don't think, right now.
He's still built like a brick shit house.
He's still built like a brick, yeah. But it depends, I guess, if they're going back with like just the Norse God of War aspect of things, or if they're going back further when Kratos needs to be younger. I've never played the games, but I love the lore, so
they could write that around the person. But also there's the fact that he's not very Nordic in appearance, and considering the current climate.
You put enough pain on somebody, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, honestly.
Right,
but since they're so woke, he certainly could.
Yeah. So anything about Fergus? I asked, I got a smile, and I got told they couldn't answer that. That might be this is just something just realizing actually there are going to be legal reasons why she can and can't, or he can and can't tell me certain things, aren't there? Because like if Penguin and Parker were actually negotiating at the moment and it wasn't all like signed,
Yeah.
There might be reasons why they can't confirm that because it maybe isn't even confirmed. I'm just thinking that there are probably lots of legal reasons why they can't say certain things.
Well, a lot of I mean,
certain things they just don't want out there.
Yeah, a lot of the things it's just everything's frozen because of the strike.
Hmm.
You know, they may be able to take a meeting, but they wouldn't be able to negotiate anything. They wouldn't be able to agree on anything, but they could take a meeting and chat and talk. But there's lots of things they can't do because of the strike, and it would be, you know, I mean, we saw what happened to Drew Barrymore when she said, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to go into production." She was crucified.
There's also going to be things they don't want us dropping that they want to announce. They don't they don't want a little channel with 26,000 subscribers to be the world exclusive on certain things. So I mean, why they wouldn't, I don't know. But I mean, it's like, we've told you literally everything else first, so you may as well just tell us. But yeah, there's going to be certain things they don't want us to announce.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in talks, right? Until they actually sign things, and when they sign things, they put an IMDb Pro or IMDb in general. So we can look when they actually sign things.
And also,
this person you've spoken to, Jay, this person, right?
Yeah.
You should ask them to get Harris to be an actor in Star, because he's the only actor among us.
I'll ask.
Get him to. I mean, I want to be in it as well, but he's the only one without any real talent.
The amount of promotion I've done for this, I basically am now in the opinion that this is only happening because of basically me, and in that case, I should be in it.
I apply myself to be Jay's American liaison for anything and everything MGM.
If there's a health and safety guy in this movie,
I'm gonna put my hat in the ring for you over here.
I'm going to go in the background.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
doing risk assessments, going, "Oh, you can't do that. It's against the risk assessment." And I'm like, "Come on."
They'll be doing a briefing. I'll interject, and they'll all go, "Shut up, Matt."
Just Jay being the new Siler, just somewhere in the back, just
doing the stunts and stuff as well, getting electrocuted occasionally and stuff. So get thrown across the gate. Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I am going to have to ask, but yes, Harris, why not? Why not? But anyway, that's
while we're at it. Pitch Erisbach Jr. I'm just saying, Erisbach Jr. will be a thing. We've got this.
Yeah, it will be. Health and safety guy will be back this week. By the way, I've already done the video. Me and Harris are doing a video as well. But Stargate Universe health and safety guy is coming. So I've sort of half written it, and I'll try and get that done this week if I can. But then yeah, me and you, Harris, we need to get together this week and finish that video.
Let's do it.
So, because he got the job. Look at little Harris. Look, he got the job. So cute.
The Stargate job?
Video, you got no fucking clue what we're talking about, but you got the job. Well done.
Yes.
Another thing interesting happened this week, though, that Matthew was quite excited about. The new Doctor Who dropped. The new Doctor Who. First up,
the trailer dropped.
The trailer dropped. Not yet. But the trailer dropped. This is the first thing. Is this the first thing they've done since the Disney deal, or was some of the stuff they did, or some of the last stuff they've done part of it as well?
No, this will be the first production they're doing with Disney.
Because the one thing that I really liked about the thing, I was worried about, was with more money, more problems sort of thing. That it would look like an American TV show, and I was actually really impressed. It didn't. It doesn't. It still looks like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It
looks like they took the nice cameras that they used for season 13 of Doctor Who, and then used them to film a good story.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It looks like that.
Different.
Because I liked the last season. It wasn't great. It was good. It looked great. And that's what I liked about it. It looked really nice because they upped the production quality. They got new fancy cameras, and it was great. The story just lacked. This looks like they've just were like, we've got the cameras now. Let's write something really good. We've got David Tennant. Come on, we can do something good.
We can do something good. How much impact is like Doctor Who got in America though? Do you guys know it's coming? Is it with the Disney deal? Do you care?
I mean, for me, I see announcements, all over YouTube and Facebook that it's coming. other than it's coming, I'm not really sure where it's coming to, because there's so many places that have Doctor Who. There's a little bit of Doctor Who on, I think, is it Max? And I know there's Doctor Who on Pluto, and then there's the whole Doctor Who thing on Disney, which I really haven't sorted out in my head yet, but I know it's coming someplace. And I'm sure that if I just keep logging on, somebody will say, "Oh my God, it was the best episode ever," then I can go hunt it down.
When the 60th anniversary drops, which is on November 25th, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's November 25th. That's when the first one drops. It's going on Disney Plus worldwide, so everyone can see it at the same time.
Thanksgiving.
Is the BBC still involved with making the Disney Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've got the Bad Wolf still.
Third.
As I understand it, BBC is still doing the production. Disney's just doing distribution.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, BK.
Yes, they're not producing it, but they have given them a lot of money.
It's the money. Doing it. It's the money injection. That's the big deal. And that's what I was worried about, that they would spend it, but not spend it well. And what we want them to do is spend it on improving a little bit. Well, we want to improve the writing. We want to get some better actors in, like Patrick Harris. I've forgotten Neil Patrick Harris.
Harris, yeah.
Who I adore. He was the best thing in by a million miles about the 10 things. So How I Met Your Mother. Challenge accepted. He was by a million miles. Barney was the best thing.
Barney.
He was really good in Lemony Snicket on Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah. He was big behind that as well. He produced it and everything. So he was big behind that.
His cameo in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is one of the best cameos of anything ever.
He ended up cameoing in almost all of them. And he's like, oh, and he's not really gay. He's actually a massive womanizer, and he uses the gay thing to nail women. I love that.
They're all so good. The mushroom in White Castle, though, doesn't get better.
Well, I like him in Stargate Troopers. He was really good at Stargate Troopers.
If they don't do Aris Bach Jr., sign me up for Stargate Troopers right now. Right now.
Come on.
So they've got one of the main villains. We don't know if it's a villain yet. Is Beep the Meep, which is that big alien with the big eyes. It's an alien that come from the comics, like way back in the 60s. That's making an appearance in the 60th anniversary, and that is voiced by Miriam Margolyes. The one from Harry Potter. What's her name?
Yeah. Oh, she's nuts. Smackers about the frogs, that woman.
She's crazy. She's crazy. But she's really
nuts.
Good.
Yeah.
What character is she playing in Harry Potter? What character?
Madam Sprout.
I can't remember her name.
She was
Sprout,
Sprout, yeah. Sprout, yeah.
That one.
She's just got controversy.
Something like that.
She was saying some things about Charles Hayden Savage, who plays Steve Martin. She was saying that he was all bad in Little Shops of Horrors or whatever, and the director was like, "What the hell is this lady saying?" Like, everybody loves Steve Martin. Like, he never did anything bad. So I don't know. She's got herself in the headlines right now.
She's a little bit nuts.
She's funny.
She's very crazy.
Gloriously, she's eccentric, because she's probably got enough money to be eccentric, and she's old enough. But she is nuts. You ever seen her in an interview? She's just like, oh my god.
Her on Graham Norton's show clips.
Best thing. It's so funny. She's just
the stories she tells are amazing.
yeah,
so good.
But yeah, I'm excited that she's going to be in it. So
yeah, I love that. And I like I say, Neil Patrick Harris is great in everything. So this is just this. I think this is glorious for him. So
and we'll get a nice transition from David Tennant to Shooter Gatwa, and it will be great. Which, by the way, Sex Education Season 3 is out right now. It is so good. It's so good.
Okay. I'm not
Have you watched it? No. You don't watch it? Oh, you need to watch it. It's so funny. It's really good. They've gone full frontal in this season.
I just finished
frontal.
I don't want to see men's willies.
Well, don't watch the first episode then.
Lots of willies. Okay.
The Boys Season 3, Episode 1.
I was going to say, quick, cut this conversation in the bud, because I know what's coming in the comments shortly. And
what's coming, Jay? I'm kidding.
We're not saying those words again. All right. So I can see Stormy's brain ticking over because he hasn't been listening and he's just realised. And
No, somebody said, first episode of the
The Boys season 3.
and there was a word that shot through my head, did not intersect with my mouth, but I did think about plugs.
for God's sake. You sucked me in then. I was just like, he's not going to do it. That's great. That's it. You sucked me in then, damn it.
Bob.
Plug it in.
Sorry. Plug it in.
You know you're going to have to make a shirt now, Jay, right?
I love your enthusiasm there, Bob.
I'll tell you what, mate. I may as well just do the damn t-shirt. Right. So, anyway, what else have you guys been watching this week? We're at the 50-minute mark. Where it's been an exciting video, but
scared for that question to be asked after the conversation we just had.
So I've literally all this week I've just been watching Sex Education and then bits of Walking Dead. That's pretty much it.
So
two very different shows.
What it sounds like.
Very good.
What it sounds like because it sounds boring as crap.
It's a comedy about.
That's a comedy.
Well, it's
very much.
I guess it's about two high schoolers. One of them has a mom who is she a therapist or a psychologist or something like that? Yeah. Okay, and she specializes in sex education. My old roommate loved it. Yeah. I've never watched a second of it. I love the cast, but it's
Otis is the guy. His mum, Jean, is a sex therapist, and he's grown up with this all throughout his life. And he decides he's going to start a free sex clinic at his school. Sex advice. It's hilarious. He has feelings for this girl called Maeve. It's kind of will they, won't they get together kind of thing. And then eventually things progress. We're in season 3 now. Ncuti Gatwa is in it. He plays Eric, one of the best characters ever. I don't know if you ever saw it. You know when coronavirus first happened? People were posting memes of Ncuti Gatwa, and it goes, "Wash your hands, you dirty pig." I don't know if you ever saw it, but that was a quote directly from Sex Education.
Okay.
Someone in the comments has got to know this. Come on, I can't be the only person watching Sex Education.
I think we have a sci-fi oriented audience here, Matt.
If there's an alien in it trying to learn.
Oh, no, there you go.
Well, there is aliens, actually. There is an alien. There's a very strange, or I'll say alternative girl in season 2 who has sex with an alien, but not really. It's like a tentacle dildo thing.
I am definitely not watching this with my kids.
No, don't watch it with your kids. Definitely not.
Come on, kids, we've got a new show to watch.
So
it's fine.
So the rescue is from the tentacle dildo. What I watched this week, I watched it. It was kind of like a thriller. It's called Night Agent. It was about this FBI agent that tracks down a mole in the White House. It was exceptionally good. It was so good. My girlfriend mentioned that she was going to watch it. She was watching it Friday night. Said I should watch it, and so I finished at 3:30 in the morning. Watched the whole damn season, 10 hours. It was really engaging. So
the second season was greenlit after the first episode dropped.
Really, I
was very happy.
Really well done. Really well done. I watched A Million Miles Away. It's about a migrant farmer that actually became a space shuttle astronaut. It's a true biopic.
Oh yeah, the fella that was in like Ant-Man.
It's Michael Pena.
That's talking.
Yeah.
Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's based on a true story, isn't it?
Yeah, true story. Yeah.
Kept applying. Like.
Let's see. Also watched. I got caught up with Ahsoka. Oh my gosh! It was just the General Thrawn thing, and it was excellent. I loved it. I can't wait to see the next episode. And I'll finish up this week watching Amazon's Wheel of Time. I
couldn't watch it. I tried.
What episode are you up to? Are you on season 2?
I watched 2 episodes of the first season and I gave up.
Well, you and I, we both complained about the production value of season 1 and how slow it got, and it was just season 2. They dumped some money in, and it is, I would say, it has the production has matured greatly. Great. It actually started, kind of following the books. Things are starting to make sense. I mean, it is. I mean, the Wheel of Time series is like 14 volumes. It was they're all about 1,000 page thick. It seemed like it was really complicated. It's a really complicated story. So, I mean, one of my beefs is they left out one of the main characters, the Gleeman. But it was. Second season is astonishingly much better than season one. Season one was, season two so just start with season 2, episode 1, and see what you think.
I might make it more. I might give it another try. It can be when I'm at work and I'm not supposed to be watching TV show. But it seems quite complicated. I'm struggling to follow it, and
very complicated story. But I think they choked down a lot of the story, and it's
good. So they listen to the audience. Amazon are quite good at that. They're quite good at making mistakes, but then they're quite good at trying to fix them. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Rings of Power could be interesting. Rings of Power should be very interesting. See what they do with that. Harris,
well, I saw some good things. I've been catching up on Foundation. I think I have 2 episodes left of it for season 2. And damn, it's good. I'm getting to the whole Harry, Salvar, Gale, and the second Foundation, kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know. I'm still figuring that little bit out. I'm enjoying that little bit. I don't want to say
like 3 episodes into the second season, so don't say too much.
Okay,
I'm loving the whole Harry storyline. I think it's great.
I need more people to watch this. It's one of the best. It might be one of the top 3 or 4 shows on television right now, and I know so few people are watching. I'm just glad Apple's still willing to back it the way they are, because it was
one of the best sci-fi trilogies of the 20th century.
And so
the whole Foundation. I mean, it was just
I mentioned in the story though that
Demoiselle, what a bitch,
but so good.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You would have loved it. I don't remember I don't know if it was a here or M Cubed or what. But last week or the week before, Stormy, someone mentioned all of Foundation. I was just like, here, let me go grab all my Asimov books, and I grabbed like 13 books. And I was like, this is a Stormy pile right here. I felt very
Stormy pile.
Besides Foundation, been watching Futurama.
Cool.
And I'm a Futurama shill, and it's still just not doing it for me. Like it needs to go to sci-fi, cool concepts, have fun. It's just everything they've been doing. It could just be in a Simpsons episode. It's just modern. It's just making fun of modern stuff. This is based 1,000 years in the future. Do something cool. That's all I'm asking. Come on. I just finished Disenchantment from the same people, which is one of the best sitcoms.
Do something cool.
Made in a long time.
What you got?
Cool. But besides that, Only Murders in the Building, which has been fantastic.
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't seen the new episode?
No, I haven't seen any of them yet. I keep going. I've started to watch the first episode about 4 times, and something always jumps in. But my wife didn't really want to watch it. She didn't really like the first season, so I've had to watch the second.
Season might be my favorite. Meryl Streep was the perfect person to add into this.
I need to like Meryl Streep's in it. You love Meryl Streep. Come on. I need to try and get the wife on board with it.
There's 1 episode left. 1 episode for the season.
They're only like 40-minute episodes, aren't they? So I can binge it.
Yeah. Besides that, Ahsoka, and then I did go see Bottoms again, which is hilarious. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, of course. Yeah. But I saw probably the worst movie I've seen in a movie theater in a long time, and I was excited for it. I got properly baked prior to this because I was expecting to need that, and it didn't even help the way I thought it would. And as much as I'm a fan of every single person in the cast,
Expendables
4 was so bad, so bad. There were a few moments where I'll reiterate, I was properly baked going into this, so my mind was in a special place. I was like, okay, this is gonna be some dumb fun, whoop-de-woo. Within about 30 seconds of walking in and sitting down, I was like, that's CGI. I just kept making little noises like that to myself, and I was just like, this is not going to be a fun 2 hours.
Was the CGI that bad all the way through?
Who the hell is producing these things? It is so unpolished, unfinished. They shouldn't have released this movie. They should have released maybe in 3 months.
Yeah. It's, when like you're on a Friday afternoon and you're at work. You can't do this, Stormy, because planes, spaceships will explode. But most people, you get to that Friday afternoon and you're sort of like, that'll do. And it's like, I'm the weekend's here. That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do.
It feels like a that'll do movie. It feels like with a lot of the writing as well, to be honest, in bits, it felt like that'll do.
The dialogue was quite literally, I don't know a better word for it than atrocious. It was the epitome of atrocious.
Know that word, mate. So you might have to use a different one. So I don't. They'll be getting the thesaurus out, or they'll get a dictionary out right now. It was
Terrible.
Like it was written like a 5-year-old had written it. It was just bad. And even Jason Statham, who I adore, was bad in it.
Yeah, everybody was. And I mean, I don't want to give a spoiler away or anything, but like something may happen to Sylvester Stallone a little bit, and they have to kind of put someone else in charge of the group for the time being. And wouldn't you think it would be Jason Statham or Randy Couture or literally Dolph Lundgren or any of these people that have been there, or just give it to Megan Fox. That makes sense. Let's just.
Oh, I'd give anything to Megan Fox. I would give her whatever she wanted.
Touche, but it's just.
It's awful.
I'm still making weird noises, just being so sad from it. Just.
It's at the lowest. I mean, none of these films are Shakespeare. Don't get me wrong.
No,
they're very much.
No.
A look who we've got rather than look at the story. But this is just like they went, look who we've got. Should we do a story? Nah, screw it.
Well, I mean, at least even with it not being Shakespeare, not being Oscar worthy, they're not going after any awards. That's for damn sure.
No,
they still had. But there was some depth, not a whole bunch of it, but there was some depth. It was like these aging dudes that are still very capable of doing a lot of things, just not as capable of doing things in the way they're used to, trying to find cool and interesting ways to still keep up with the Joneses in a way. And with this, they were just like, yeah, we got young people now. We're going to make a couple jokes about being old, and it's not going to pertain to anything, and keep on kicking. And it just there's no heart, there's no soul, there's nothing, because that's the first 3 had some heart and soul. This was just like, here's a movie.
It's not like Fast X either. And go, well, at least you can just enjoy the cars explode. It's just even the action's kind of stupid. So it's just the whole film's just stupid.
Momoa made Fast X great. Not great, but it made it like watchable. Like you watched it and you're like, okay, well now I'm with Momoa. I'm having fun now that I'm watching on this side. There wasn't a character like that in here. There wasn't anyone to latch onto or grab onto to just enjoy.
So I sometimes wish I had an erase button. Just like to boop, erase the last 2 hours of my life. Sometimes when I have arguments with the kids and things, just go boop. I just pretend that didn't happen, or whatever. And that's what I want. I wanted to just go boop. I have to come walking out and go. I would just
moonshine helps.
But well, I forgot it pretty quickly. To go back to Foundation quickly, because I'm loving Foundation. I put a comment on because I did a video. I can't remember why I was talking about Foundation on the video actually, and I sort of said I think they've been really loyal to the original books, and a load of people jumped on it, going, "Wow, this changes, they changed that, they changed," and I was like, "No, I don't mean they have made a series that follows the books, because they haven't, because the Foundation would be impossible to do that." But I think they've actually done something that is loyal to the overall story, the feel, the tone, and what the story is trying to say. Mm-hmm. And I know that they changed things like the Emperor and stuff. They changed bits about that, but they've done it so that it makes sense. But also, it does seem to think that people don't understand like the practicalities of making a TV series. That you can't, have 1 million actors in these things, that you have to actually have a cast. Mm-hmm. and that I mean, somebody mentioned it in the comments earlier that it's a bit you shouldn't have TV series that you have to research beforehand for Ahsoka, because certain characters are like, why is this important? And if you didn't watch some of the cartoons, you'd have no clue, sort of thing. And I'm like, I get that, but with the Foundation, it's such a complicated story. I don't know what people expect. But I don't know what you guys think, having watched it. I thought it was like I read the books years ago, so don't get me wrong. I can't remember big chunks of the storyline from reading the books. I recognized the story. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, I remember that in the book, and I remember, you know what I mean? What do you guys think of you? I mean, how Stormy, you've read him. I know you've read him.
For me, it was like when I first read it, I said, "This will never be anything." You know, it's just always going to be in book form because it's the scale of it in terms of time is like there's going to be so many characters and there has to be so many leads and so forth that the audience is going to be. I mean, they skip one episode, they're totally lost. You know, as you filter through the events of Foundation and then get into Second Foundation. But the way they came up with it with, you know, dawn, day, and dusk, and keeping the same characters or the same actors, and then keeping dawn, day, and dusk with the same themes of attitude and whatever, was just bloody brilliant. I mean, it was really creative, you know. Now and the way they're handling Harry Seldon and everybody else is just that was really smart.
Yeah,
and
it gets to the point of the book, but in a way that you actually do. And that's what I was trying to get to. I was trying to say that this is very, very clever how they've done this, and it's taken a lot of effort, I think, and they really should be applauded for it. But there's some people that are going, it's different, so it's crap. And I'm like, no, you're missing the point completely. I was really disappointed with them.
Can you imagine how difficult it must have been to appeal to the Asimov family?
Yeah, here he goes. So
here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you think about what
put that narratively on TV?
Yeah, that even though it was different, Harris, though, but it's loyal. I think it's a really loyal adaptation because they have worked really hard on this to make it still Foundation and recognizable as the Foundation, but in a way that's possible to actually do, sort of thing.
Big time. No, if it weren't done the way that they've chosen to do it, we would either have it would almost feel like Black Mirror in a way, where every single episode would have an entire different cast. It would feel very conceptual, and there are ways to do it, but there are no ways to do it within an actual narrative and have it feel comfortable in that sense. Like doing it in a Black Mirror style would have been really cool, but you would have lost everybody so quickly. Yeah. The only person in that kind of chronology, if you want to do it that way, that would have been the same would have been Lady Demerzel. Really, that's like your option. Like that's your only consistent cast member.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as much as I love these novels. They're all amazing. Isaac Asimov is great. Every single one of these fantastic in its own right. You would be bored as hell trying to watch that on screen and piece it together without having an invented for film Cleonic dynasty. I feel like it's just it's a way to bridge the gap between the books and the medium of film, I guess, is a good way of saying that, instead of actually just trying to adapt it precisely. It just wouldn't be fun to watch. There's nothing about it that would be fun, and that's coming from Sci-Fi Channel that loves this kind of stuff, you know? Like, you want to have something engaging.
I'm really, really impressed the way they've done it to make it doable. Secondly, Monk's just been talking about Sliders getting a reboot. They tried a couple of years ago. It came quite close, but that's not going to happen. Quantum Leap, I think, is the success of Quantum Leap has basically made the Sliders won't happen because it's too similar. So it won't happen. But I've got a video coming out Tuesday now, probably, about a bunch of reboots that are quite exciting. So if it happens, which I don't think it will. But anyway, Space 1999, Space 2025, yeah. But there are a lot of conversations about rebooting some old TV shows at the moment, because I think executives are just sort of sat around twiddling their thumbs trying to figure out what to do in the next 12 months. So there's lots of stupid ideas being bounced around. So we'll see what happens. Guys, thank you so much. We've gone past the hour and 10. So, Stormy, got anything saved up?
I was like, what's he thinking?
Well, I do like Foundation.
Yeah. There you go. Good.
But I will say, Ahsoka, it is, man, that last episode was just awesome. Holy shit. It was just, I still can't get over it. I can't get over it.
From someone who has not, have you seen Rebels, Stormy?
Oh, I've seen half of it. I've seen half.
Okay, so you have watched. Okay, because
Okay,
I just had to do a little Ahsoka
When
defense.
she's a little Ahsoka, then gets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with
Because
Ahsoka.
people are saying like, oh, I don't know who these people are. You have to do homework to watch it. No, you don't. Doesn't it make it 10 times more intriguing to watch it without knowing exactly who these people are? You're learning about them along the way.
I think
There's intrigue still, I guess.
I mean, I think it was written and shot and acted for somebody. You didn't have to go back and do, a bunch of research.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the ones that are complaining about that just feel left out. And hey, you don't have to feel left out. You can go watch Rebels any day of the week, any hour of the day.
Yeah.
And if not, hey, sit back, relax, and you're going to learn who Thrawn is. You're going to learn who Ezra is. And we get to learn how that's going to happen together. It's going to be pretty damn cool.
With me, is it Ezra that she was off searching for?
Mm-hmm.
Ezra. The only thing with that for me was that was a big deal, and the whole episode was Ezra. If you and I've not watched those cartoons, so I have no clue who Ezra is. And if you don't know, it is a bit drawn out. It does go on a bit. You're just like, who is this person, and why should I care? And the last episode went on and on and on about, and she's willing to sacrifice herself for this person. And if you haven't seen the cartoons, it doesn't really make sense.
Well,
but it'll make sense, I can imagine.
It will make sense, and that's the thing. It's if you don't want to do that, you got to look at the person who's making this itself. Dave Filoni is a slow burner. Everything he's ever done, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Star Wars Rebels, all of it takes its sweet time. The Bad Batch.
I love that shit.
Oh, it makes it so much more rewarding. And sure, people can be pissy. People were pissy the first season of Clone Wars. People were pissy the first season of Rebels. People have been pissy the first season of Ahsoka. And I cannot wait to see what people say in about a year and a half.
People are pissy about everything.
We don't have any patience. We're so used to TikTok. It's just every freaking second, something new in front of your face. Slow the hell down. Breathe a little bit. Meditate a little bit like your old Jedi do. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy what's being brought to you sometimes,
For those of us that saw episode 4 of Star Wars, A New Hope, when it came out in the theaters originally, we were grateful that we got to see the next one within just a few years.
Yeah.
Freaked out. And The Empire Strikes Back was probably one of the best of the franchise. I mean, oh my God, that was a good movie. The Rebels got their asses kicked. And talk about your slow burn.
Uh-huh. Literally nothing's resolved at the end of the movie, I feel like. Just you have to wait for years.
So Harris got a question for you, or just I got 2 words for you. Turtle people.
We start talking about Pokemon now, or what?
No. We're still talking about Ahsoka.
What about them? I like the Noti.
So cool! Oh my God,
great.
Awesome.
It felt very Lucas-esque, and that makes me very happy.
It was like I thought they were the Ewoks of the amphibious world.
Yes, it felt like it, and it feels like they're a little smarter than the Ewoks generally too, which is nice.
Yeah, they've already got gizmos and technology, They live in
I'm intrigued that they almost seem like Harfoots. In that way, where they're traveling, but in that kind of manner.
Snails.
Sharp.
Snail.
I'm enjoying Ahsoka, but that's enough now. Calm down. Real Star Wars. We don't care. Look, you've made Sarah get sleepy.
Um,
I'm sorry, Sarah.
Yeah,
It's okay.
give Matt a nudge. Matt, Amazon executive has contacted us and told us that Stargate's coming back.
Oh, he wakes right up.
Right.
It's okay. We had to wake up after Doctor Who. It's okay.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. If you are late, rewind. The first 20 minutes of this video, if you're a Stargate fan, is very, very interesting. Please go and have a look and tell your friends. Please like, share, all that sort of stuff for the video, because this is the stuff Stargate fans need to know this stuff now, because we're actually telling you, and we've been telling you for 2 years, and there are still people that doubt us, and it really winds me up. But let's get this information out there. There will be a story on the Scitrek website a little bit later. So, guys, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much again. And yeah, see you next week.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, I should really do the ending credit-y thing, shouldn't I?
You should do the ending credit thing.
Okay. No way, I wasn't letting that go.
Did you see Oliver?